Hello and welcome to the Summer Dueling League. Here we have my black cat named Alligator up against Scuttlefish. And we're very rusty. Last time we ran a league like this was like 8 months ago, so I start with my usual tactic: lob some medium rocket packs, or some rockets from my medium rocket packs at a distance. A little bit of intimidation factor, a little bit of suppression, if you will, something to keep them moving. Got that first round. Here I am just lobbing these things. This is something on a map like this that I'll try to do. I like these rocket trooper builds. That's the correct range, but Scuttlefish caught on quick and he started swerving because it does take a while for the rockets to reach there. But it's still good. It's a little bit of area denial. Here I am, trying to lead my shots. Got that round too. But it's a little bit of area denial, a little bit of kind of... when I'm on my game and I'm smart enough, I can use it to kind of shepherd someone into a more advantageous position. Obviously, me as the pilot of this black cat, I'm just speaking from my point of view here. I'm sure Scuttlefish over here could have some other insights as well. Trying to lead my shots. Now my gear, a little thing about my build is I dumped everything into fire control. So I'm not very fast. This is a light gear I'm in. Typically it should be pretty fast gear. But I'm not very fast. I lowered my speed capabilities, got that last round as well. And I didn't put any SMS. As you see, Scuttlefish here went for a little bit of a heavier gear, and he is using his secondary movement system, which is a pretty common tactic. A lot of the duelists you will see in this tournament will go for ground speed. The secondary movement system doesn't really give you as much maneuverability, but the speed becomes really critical, especially honestly with a build like mine where I'm relying on rocket shenanigans and indirect fire. Closing the distance on someone like me could be really important, and here you see him turn into me, close the distance, and there you go. And the only weapon he carries is the heavy autocannon. But when you have a high ranking or a high rating on your fire control like he does, he and I both have a fire control rating of 2, which is really good. I'd say for our dueling league and in our rule set in this dueling league, that's kind of a little bit above the minimum of what you want, but it does make a big difference. The difference between fire control 1 and 2 is big. Pretty much what fire control does is, I don't know the details to be honest, but to boil it all the way down to the bare essentials, it just makes your shots cause more damage. Here I am trying for some indirect fire once again, trying to utilize these rockets drop. Those are some good hits. Those landed close. I think he told me there that I actually hit him with one. But there's a little bit of splash damage with these rockets. The medium rocket pack, oh, he still got me. I was really good and accurate with those rockets, and he still got me. That was a nice shot. In Heavy Gear 2, when you get hit, it's kind of intense. It's a loud noise. It kind of shakes the gear around. So for him to keep his cool and pull off a shot like that on me, that was really nice. And by the way, the reason why I'm even commentating this whole thing is because the sound broke when I recorded. So I figured I might as well do a little bit of commentary at least. Here you see me utilizing this boulder formation for some cover. If I can get behind him, which I did briefly, then I'll be at an advantage. However, not much of one, because my maneuverability rating is also very low. I think it's all the way down to -5. Here I am trying to figure out which button pulls up the score. I said, hold on. Like I said, we're very rusty. If I remember correctly, it's been 8 months or more since we last ran this dueling league. I figured it out. It's F1 for future reference. And so with my maneuverability being so low, my turning speed is very low. Some nice shots there. His weapon is a lot heavier than mine. I'm running the 2 medium rocket packs and also the heavy anti-air cannon. The heavy anti-air cannon is pretty good, but as you can see, I have to hit him many times for him to go down. And there's some good rockets. There's some good lead on those rockets. Another thing about the secondary movement system, like I said, your mobility is limited to kind of forward movement. You don't turn very fast when you're on SMS either. You also cannot jump or use jump jets if you have jump jets equipped on your gear or anything like that. So that was a really great shot. He took me out quick on that one. Closed the distance quick and took me out. So if I can get him going, if he has a lot of momentum with his wheels as he skates around, then I can kind of get a better read on how to lead him. There's some good rocket hits over there. I'm within range with the heavy anti-air cannon, but I'm also within range of his heavy autocannon, so I was trying to get behind the rock a little bit, and pretty lucky to pull the win out with that one because he did hit me, and he did cause a critical hit on me, so I probably wouldn't have lasted much longer if I didn't get him right there. Here he comes. No, he's staying up there, so that's actually pretty smart of him, because although my rockets can kind of sort of reach him at about the range that his heavy autocannon can reach me, the damage on them is so much more spread out, and as you can see, he's doing a good job of dodging them there. They're easy to dodge because their velocity is so low. And so there he is, he's dropping down, closing the distance, but that gives me a good lead on him. There he goes with his SMS, and he got stuck there. He got stuck and gave me a good target picture. He wasn't able to get much lateral movement. He did a good job closing the distance, but the risk with closing the distance is you give a good target picture. You don't give a lot of like lateral movement that would cause me to need to do a lot of deflection shooting, especially because both he and I opted to just eviscerate our sensors' capabilities. So although we have high fire control, and that does play into the sensors rating a little bit as far as if you can get a target, a high enough fire control will give you a leading reticle that will help you with those deflection shots. Oh, I got pretty lucky there because he could have easily taken me out. So that was a pretty lucky one for me. But both he and I decided to essentially remove almost all sensors and electronics capabilities from our gear, which means we are from our gears rather, which means that we are relying on just, you know, our eyes to judge the deflection shooting angles and so on. That's a hit on his part. I'm hitting him a bunch. He's tanking those shots, and he swats me out of the air. How about that for a shot, huh? I got lateral movement and a jump on him. Now, to be fair, the jump is a predictable arc, but I feel like I did a pretty good job of switching up my movement direction to make it a little more tricky, but he nailed me with that one. So what you'll see, I should ask him if he did this. There's a mutual kill, so we both get a point for that. And that's a victory for me. I think he said he wanted to go one more round, and so we did. But even though technically I guess this round would be over, he comes straight for me, and then that ends the round for good. So now we're gonna switch it up. But what he did, I think I should ask him if this is true, but a lot of duelers will lower their walking speed all the way down. So here I am picking the map, Okavango Swamp. I was like, I have one of the perks on my gear is submersible, so I can get in the water. Otherwise, the water will damage your gear. You can like fully submerge it. Any gear can walk through water like this, but I put see there, he was right in front of me, and I just didn't see him. I don't know what I was thinking, but good kill on his end. But I figured, oh, let's do the swamp one because maybe I'll have an opportunity to dunk my mech in the water. But anyway, my point, what I was saying was, a lot of duelists will lower their walking speed all the way down to 0 and dump all their movement into SMS. And it's a viable tactic, but like I said, all the attendant problems are still present. Here I'm trying to get in the water, but he already saw me. He already shot at me. So I get up and I decided to go for it. This map is interesting. I'm not sure if it's good, but one good side effect of it, I think, is that it completely or nearly completely negates my ability to use my rockets how I want to, because it's so small and we're so close to each other that I don't get any purchase on the indirect fire aspect of the rockets, like lobbing them over toward him, because he'll just go over his head. On top of that, the elevation only goes down from where we begin, and it's difficult to get a higher evolution than your opponent. There I go, I jump out of the water and get him with that kill. 3-2. Oh, he's already on me. I checked the score and that slowed me down. Yeah, I'm hitting him a lot. So pretty much my rockets are a non-factor on this map, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's good that the maps really do change your tactics up. There he goes, waiting for me to crest that hill and just pop me. Very good kill, very good kill. There I go. We're supposed to start with our backs to each other. That time my back wasn't quite toward him. I'm not sure what happened. I think the way that the spawning works isn't exactly spot on all the time. Here I am just laying into him, hoping to get a kill. I'm kind of trying to stay in cover because when in the water, your mobility goes way down. Your speed. There's a little bunny hop kill. Trying to jump from island to island to keep my speed up, because in the water, like I said, you move very, very slow. And once again, we see each other. We're just trying to pixel pick, pixel hunt. I opt for my rockets here because I was trying to get some elevation on him with the jump. I go back to my heavy anti-air cannon and I get the kill there. So here we are once again, same deal. He just oh, that was a mutual kill, actually. He one-shot me. I didn't one-shot him, but we killed each other at the same time. So that gives us both a point. Now I love how the fire and debris stays on the field between rounds. I don't think that was intended. In fact, I doubt that was an intended feature, but it is cool because it gives a little bit of visual blockage during the match in a way that changes it up a little bit. That was a good kill from Scuttlefish on me. And ooh, there he goes. Just blasts me, man. I didn't have a chance on that one. I was trying to get too cute. Oh, it's a little warm in here. I am trying to just snipe him. I mean, we're both well within effective range of our weapons, so the range factor is totally negated. So once again, his range factor is you know, taken away. And my rocket tactic that I favor heavily is also taken away. I don't know why I'm checking the score. We might have been, that was a good kill. Here he takes the lead on me. I think we were discussing what happened. I think maybe on his end he saw a mutual kill and I didn't. And we're just making sure that the score is lined up there. And with that kill, he takes the lead on me. And there we go. In that instance, I think that was my one like direct rocket kill. So here, I realize he doesn't see me. I walk, I dunk myself in the water. The thing is, this water is so shallow that when you crawl like this, it does make a wake above me. You don't really see it. You see some of the ripples, but it makes a pretty noticeable wake, so I didn't want to go too far out. But I just held still, and then I see him, and I try to shoot, but my shots are hitting the crest, and he's like, "Where are you? Where are you?" And he didn't see me at all. So there's your submersible, your submerged ambush kill. I love that. That was one of my proud moments of doing this dueling league. Alright, some more rockets. Again, I don't know why. Okay, well, I mean, it worked. There's my other rocket kill, and I think that's it. So that's it for that round. So I take the match. So that's my match, but we decided to do our third round anyway. And so we opted for deep space. One thing I love about Heavy Gear 2 is I think that the zero gravity space combat is so awesome. It feels rather realistic, but it's also a little bit, you know, sci-fi anime. And here we are. This first round is embarrassing because we're just figuring out the controls, because the controls are quite different when you have the zero gravity systems installed on your gear. I'm just cutting around. Now I figured out the controls. He did too, and now we're just looking for each other because we both drifted away pretty far, which is hilarious. I'm just cutting some stuff out from that. And here we go. I've pretty much figured out. As you see my thrusters, they're going in there. I find them. He hasn't quite found me yet, but I'm going to go for him. Really in space, he made a good point. Really in space, you want lasers, because I hit him a bunch, but I realized I should get out of there before he gets any more good hits on me. So I decided to run away and take some cover. Use this big frigate or whatever it is as cover. I just cut some stuff out because there was some of us just kind of looking for each other. There I find him. The lasers in Heavy Gear 2 are pretty much hit scan weapons, but they work pretty interestingly in that there's the first kill of the round, or the first kill of the round there. But they work pretty interestingly in that when you shoot them, the beam comes out, but then when the beam disappears, that's when it registers the hit. So when you see the beam, you're not doing any damage. So I try to trick him here. He hit me. And here we see one of the limitations of the graphics of Heavy Gear 2, although it is a rather handsome game for coming out in 1999. But I tried to trick him by jumping up here on the ceiling, letting my magnetic boots attach me to this part of the ship, this part of the engine housing. But since he hit me, I was sparking. And he told me, he said, I see you, I see your sparks. So my sparks were clipping through the hull of the ship, or the thruster shield of the ship. So that was some good tactical awareness on his part to see where I was and take me out there, be ready for me. So yeah, like I said, Scuttlefish made this point. In space, when you have projectile weapons, a really important factor, to him it was the most important factor, and I didn't completely agree, but it is an important factor that your vector prediction and deflection shooting skills really come in handy. And also, the fact that his weapon is often a one-hit kill on me helps his cause, certainly. But he was shooting really good, because he's taking some difficult shots here in space. And although I'm able to hit him a few times, my weapon is just, so much lighter than his. There, I finally get him. What's that? I think that's 3-1 maybe. And I think I got him before, but I think he accidentally alt-tabbed out of his game. Anyway, the quirks of the controls of Heavy Gear 2, I'll tell you. They really didn't make it a sim. It's got crazy controls. Got that kill too. That might have been the one where he accidentally tabbed out. So they're 4-3, I'm kind of catching up on him. But the way that this game does zero gravity, mecha, anime style fights, I think is a triumph. It's amazing. It really makes me feel sorry that Heavy Gear 2 found itself in the situation it found itself in, with what's reportedly a pretty difficult development cycle, and the fact that no other Heavy Gear games happened. I guess the devs wanted to do a game in another property from the same people who do have the Heavy Gear property. That was a nice shot by me, by the way, even though I didn't kill him, and I think he gets me this round. I forget. Oh no, I got him. There we go. That's a good kill. I don't remember what the name of it is, but they have another tabletop war game, which Heavy Gear also is. This is a Canadian company called Dream Pod 9, and they have another one, good kill, which is more like space-based. Heavy Gear is a little more sci-fi, or sorry, a little more gritty. See, the rockets in space are useless, because instead of their inertia carrying them forward, they just self-detonate at their range. So rockets in space, don't recommend it unless you find yourself in tight quarters. Still got that kill though. But that got canceled. That game they were doing that was basically all mecha space battles, reportedly, obviously got canceled. It's a shame. But what they did with Heavy Gear 2, it's special all around, but the space battles especially were really something novel and exciting. Here I am staying on the ground trying to use my strafe. The strafe in Heavy Gear is such a weird thing. You can basically look straight behind you all the way. It's not just a torso twist. It adds extra maneuverability. It's kind of inexplicable in the game. Good hit there from Scuttlefish. But if you can utilize the strafe, you can get some extra maneuverability and mobility out of your gear in a way that it's kind of funky, to be honest, but pretty cool. You see, when you that gets me every time. When you thrust forward in zero gravity, it kind of stops all your lateral movement and also all your like y-axis movement, your like up and down movement. And as it does that and slowly builds up forward momentum, it makes you very, very vulnerable. All right, I got him there. I think there, can't remember if he alt tabbed out on accident again, because the way his controls are set up, alt is the modifier. Actually, it might be this one. No, it's not this one. There, that's a pretty nice shot. Just skimming the top of that hull there. You'll see here, I think he's about to win this round. As I go forward, I just stop, right? And so I strafe here, but there I get some... Oh no, okay. So yeah, I made it pretty close here at the end. But getting that strafe in there really did help. You know, helps change your target picture. It requires them to do some deflection shooting. Again, in space, it's especially difficult to do that. Staying on the ground for some extra quick movement, and then I jump at the end. But he gets me, and it's a nice shot too. I think there I did try to thrust forward, and that stopped me. No, that wasn't it. I mean, that might have been a factor, but either way, really nice shot. Here he stays on the ground, which I did not expect, so he kind of surprised me. And then I walk off the edge there. I didn't intend to do that, but I thought, so here I'm thrusting forward, trying to get some momentum, presenting the perfect picture for him, and he just lines me up and wins. Great match. Scuttlefish, and that's heavy year 2. That's dueling for you. Thanks for watching.